How are we doing, everybody? Scott Allen here with another episode of Between the Ears. Yes, it is a little later. I apologize for that, but we are going to dive right on into what this legacy that Randy Mazey has built for himself. And look, I know baseball is not maybe the most popular sport at WVU. It's definitely not one of the biggest revenue drivers or traffic drivers for that matter in terms of these episodes, but we still talk about it every now and then. We'll talk about Alek Manoah in the big leagues like we did last week. We'll talk about John Means, JJ Weatherholt. But this one, I don't even care. Like, I don't care if this is what people want to hear about right now, if they'd rather hear football talk or basketball talk. We're going to have plenty of time to get to that throughout the rest of this week in this offseason. But right now feels like the best time to talk about the legacy that Randy has built at West Virginia. And I don't think it can be matched. I mean, I in some ways, I want to say that he's kind of like the Don Nealon of the baseball program in that, he kind of put West Virginia on the map. But it's a little different because Randy took over a program that was on the brink of collapsing. They were going to shut the program down. That was not the case with Don Nealon. And Dandy Don did a tremendous job with that football program, getting him to the national championship, couple undefeated seasons, just a phenomenal good job coaching. And I'm not taking anything away from Don Nealon, and you really can't compare the two, but just speaking from where the two took over their programs. And again, Nealon did put West Virginia on the map in football, but this program was on the brink of being shut down completely. Have you seen the old baseball field that West Virginia played at Hawley Field? Whew. For some of you who don't know, I went to John Marshall High School in Glendale, up in the northern Panhandle. We have what is considered one of the best, at least when I was there, it was one of the best high school fields in the entire state. And over the years, it's kind of gotten hit with a bunch of floods and stuff, but they've always done a really good job. Have taken really good care of that field. I would say that field was in much better shape than Holyfield was. And I've seen some pretty rough high school baseball fields throughout the state, and some of them probably are very similar to what Holyfield was. That's what they were working with. They were transitioning from the Big East to the Big 12 and had no real winning culture. They didn't have a pipeline to the MLB or to even pro ball as much as they do now. They didn't have the facilities. They didn't have a stadium that was really Big 12 worthy. And then comes Randy Mazey and changes the entire direction of this thing from being something that may have not have even existed to a program that's hosting regionals and consistently in the mix for the Big 12 title. And oh, by the way, won the Big 12 regular season championship last year. He's now produced, or he will produce at the end of this summer, 2 first-round picks. 2 of them in the top 15, more than likely. Alek Manoah was, I believe, the 11th, 12th pick in the draft, somewhere around there. JJ Weatherholt last year, at the end of last season, was viewed by everybody as the consensus number 1 overall pick in this year's draft. Obviously, the hamstring injury may have played a part in his stock somewhat sliding. I don't know. There's different mock drafts out there that are saying he could go anywhere from 5th to 12th to 13th. Who knows? But he's on a tear right now. And if that tear continues into the Big 12 tournament and into the NCAA tournament, he's going to start climbing again. And there could be a conversation where JJ is back in the mix for not only a top 5 pick, but even higher. So, again, to take a program over any program and get that type of production is unreal. Hats off to whoever can do that. But to take over a program that was literally on the verge of being shut down and you pull it out 6 feet under and take it to where it is a Big 12 champion in what is, again, one of the most historic baseball conferences out there in the college level. I don't even know what to say to that. Randy Mazey has done the best coaching job over the last 15 years in college baseball. I don't want to hear anybody else say any other name. Everyone else had pretty good situations that they were in. They had winning history. They had talent. They had the facilities. They had the stadium. They had the support. That wasn't the case for Randy. He built this thing. And that's why it was so difficult for him to kind of see. And I mean, it's always difficult when you're coaching or playing your last game, but for him especially because he literally had his fingerprints all over this thing. And even though he's a humble guy and he doesn't like to take credit for anything, that meant something. To just look out and see all the fans there in his last game, get to sing Country Roads one more time in a stadium that probably he and many thought would never be possible to even be built for this program. And have butts and seats regularly like they've had over the last few years. Best coaching job in all of college baseball. Not even close. Hats off to Randy Mazey. I know there's a lot of baseball left to be played. They got a TCU series that's very pivotal for the Big 12 Conference tournament. Then they'll get to the tournament. Then they'll have the NCAA tournament as well. So a lot of baseball still left to be played. And we'll see. Maybe some more boxes get checked off of Randy Mazey's to-do list before he rides off into the sunset. But again, hats off to Randy and the Mazey family for everything that they've done for WVU baseball and really WVU athletics. So that's going to do it for me here today. I'm Skylar Callahan. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on our YouTube page here at Mountaineers Now. Give us a like and a follow on X at the same exact handle. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back here tomorrow morning.